this truck for well over a year. It's been sitting in my garage just staring at me. I walk past it literally every day. And I was like, what am I going to make? Like, I got to make this, right? This came from the at-home store. This was originally $39.95. Holy shamoly. I wouldn't pay that, but I think I probably got it on at least maybe a 40 or 50% discount. So we have this. It says Orchard Farms, free delivery, apples, pumpkins, cider. It's really cute. So it's nicely finished all the way around. It's my favorite sage green color. Love that. What I've done here is I have sprayed it in the back. I sprayed it with gaps and cracks. That is great stuff, gaps and cracks. It's spray foam insulation. You can watch, I've got a reel that shows I put it on pumpkins, but you can see how it does. I sprayed it and then it does puff up. So it did puff up a little bit over here. There's an echo when I yell inside the cab. It's kind of funny. What we want to do though is we have to flatten that out. I can't just go putting stuff in there. No siree. I'm also going to need, my Spanish moss. Blech, Spanish moss. Blech. But I'm going to need it for this project. So I want to flatten this out before we start. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I hope you guys are doing well. And then at the end of this, I'll talk about my fun thing coming up. Brenda, hello. Alice in the house. Woo, woo, Alice. Go, Alice. We've got Leslie here. This is going to be exciting. I'm excited to finally make this. Okay, so I can't just take my knife and go right across this because it's got those little bars in there. So I'm going to have to kind of do some fancy finagling. I'm going to kind of try to like cut like on an angle a little bit. I'm basically kind of like cutting out a little V-shaped pie piece out of this, right? I should have used less. Of course I should have used less. Kind of cutting down to the bottom. Just kind of cutting straight down. What I'm trying to do is be able to get in there so that I can start leveling it out. You can do this with a serrated knife. This is a floral foam knife. This is hard. All right. Here we go. If I can just get like one good set out, then I think I'll be good. So what I've kind of done is I've cut this way, trying to get this all level. So I was gonna cut it all out before I started this, but then I was like, no, I want to show you guys like the real struggles. Not everything looks great when you first start, right? It's a struggle and it is real. All right, got some of this out. And I don't want to take too much out, but I want to get it nice and level. Aha. And there we go. Not too bad. Not the greatest, not the worst. I just want to get a little bit more. See, the reason I got to work on fall is I got a craft show coming up on Saturday. So I've been so into making the kits, and I went to the Craig Bachman and all this other stuff. I kind of neglected my projects, but it's a good thing that I had a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't sell last year because I'm going to take it this year. All right, so we have our truck bed. Let me go a little bit. A little more level. There we go. Took out just a little bit of extra. Now it's even flatter. Good. It's not as flat as my butt right now. There we go. Looking good. Okay. I want to add the floral, the Spanish moss to the base. I know. It's gross. It's gross. Yeah. I do have friends that have used U-pins. Let me try to use that. Sometimes I'll just glue it. The problem is if I glue it and I add a bunch of glue in the base here and then slam it on top, if I'm putting in picks and it hits that glue's hard. So that pick isn't going to go in exactly where I want it to. So let's see what it's like. These U-pins may be too tall, so I may end up having to cut them down, but let's see if it goes in. It's going in. Yay! I have to start using U-pins for more stuff. It makes it so much easier. The problem is when I use the Spanish moss and you glue it, when you go to push it down, I am notorious for gluing myself and getting the hot glue all over myself and getting some pretty nasty burns. I don't want to burn myself. I hurt myself in enough ways already. I don't need to add glue to that list. All right, just all right. And another, just a tiny little thing right in the back. This is actually makes it a bit more palatable to use this stuff. If you know me, you know I hate this shit. I do. It just, ugh. It's okay though. It's all right. It does what I need it to do, and it helps me. I forgot to grab 2 of the things I need. Hold on, hold please. I'll be right back. I forgot something. Hold on. I have these. I have, this one is a triple, and this one is just a big pumpkin, okay? Now, these are going to be the florals that I'm going to use. I'm not going to use all of them because there's a lot of them in here, but the reason I like it is mainly for this one because it's got that same kind of colors as the truck. There's 2 of these. There's some other fall colors. So I like this, but I don't want to put all that in there because it's going to be huge. So I have some smaller stuff to put in there as well. And you know, if it's me, I'm going to have some 60919 in there, okay? So I got that. But I want to put one of these picks in there, and I haven't decided if it's going to be the triple or the single. I think it's going to be this one because when you look at the scale of this and the scale of that, the scale is not the same. And I think this is much more appropriate because I do want to have a little pumpkin kind of sitting up in here with some florals and then the bow. Okay, so that's probably kind of how I'm going to do this. All right, here we go. This was from Hobby Lobby. This was $4.99. I'm sure I got it last year because I haven't really bought much for fall this year yet. So this was last year. So, you know, you don't pay $4.99. No. I'm going to cut this off. Snippy. All right. So I will eventually, I'm just going to set that in here right now. I'm not gluing it. I just want to kind of set it in there so that I can mentally work a couple things around this and see how I want to do it. Okay. So see what we're going to do. Shelly, hey, how's it going? How's it going? Thank you so much for joining. The one thing that I am going to want to put at the back is, you guys know me, I always like to put a really cool bow in the back. Now I'm going to use just one single type of ribbon for this, but I want to pull it out because it so perfectly matches. So there's different colors and variations of this pattern. This one came from mbcrafts.com. Go to my affiliate link and you can go to mbcrafts.com. That's where I got this. But there's like a white version. There's a version that has like navy blue. This one has like the sage green, which is the perfect match to our little truck here, okay? So I want to put a bow. I always like to put a bow right in the back of the truck bed. So I want to do that first. Then I can work everything else around it. And if you know me, you know. Easy Bows Design Pro. I can't make a bow without it because my hands hurt. And why would I want to hurt myself worse? Nobody knows if you made it in a bow maker or by hand. There's no glory in hurting yourself with crafting. All right, so we're going to create this. I'm going to dovetail the bow. What does that mean? I'm going to take the 2 wired edges. This is wired ribbon. Always use wired ribbon. I'm going to put these guys together, sandwich together, and go snippy. And then you get the V shape at the top, and it looks like the tail of a dove, hence dovetail. Haha, amazing. All right. So then I want to figure out, and you can dovetail at the end. I always like to do it at the beginning. How long do I want this tail? And I think this is probably about good. So when I put it in my bow making tool here, I can see that this is a 5-inch tail, okay? I'm going to pinch and twist this ribbon on my left side, okay? If you're standing behind me, you'd see it's my left side, okay? Putting that in there. I want this to be a smaller bow, so I'm going to do one with 3-inch loops because it's going to end up giving me like a 6-inch wide bow, which is basically the same width as that, okay? So I'm going to line it up. Does that look about halfway point? Yep. 3-inch bow, all right? So I'm putting 1 loop okay? Put it down there, and then I pinch and twist with my other side. So now I am looking at the back side on the right. I'm going to put that in. Okay, it's a little bit bigger than 3 inches, all right? It's like it's almost 3.5. I made it a little bigger. Bigger is better. Am I right, girls? Yes, I am. And I mean in terms of talking about the size of my Diet Cokes. Nothing else. Nothing else. Read into that what you will. Okay. I like to make 5 loops on either side. So here's our second set of loops. Pinch and twist. Here comes our third set of loops. Going in there once. Going in there twice. Okay. If you stay with me all the way through this, I will have an exciting announcement at the end. Something I'm super excited about, and how you can participate. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Here's the 4th set. Pinch and twist. Eek, there we go. The 5th set. The 5th set. Okay. I'm trying to think if I want a sweet little center bow in this one, and I don't think I need that because I'm going to pinch these loops together. So I'm going to be good. So I'm just going to cut this off at like 5.5, and then I dovetail. Okay. Now for this one, in order to secure my bow, usually I do like to use a zip tie to make it nice and tight, make those loops pop like a push-up bra. But this time, I'm going to use a pipe cleaner because I'm going to want to stab this bow into the foam. And in order to do that, I have to either use my pick machine, which I will do, or show you how to wrap it around a stem so that you can cut that stem and then use that to stab it into the foam. So I'm going to do that version here. So here we go. Picked it up. I'm just going to wrap this right around it. Okay, and we can put it on the ground, doesn't matter. Tighten it. Wrap once, maybe a little twice, okay? Here we go. All right, let's fluff our loops. Because there's 5, I'm going to do middle, then I'm going to do down on that one, up on that one, down on that one, up on that one, okay? And then these come out there and there. All right, just kind of bringing them up. All right, so each of the loops kind of has, you got visibility into each set of loops, okay? So I like, now these 2 I'm going to pull together in the middle, all right? Pinched it together, and then, boom, there we go. It's looking nice and cute. So this is great, but how do I get this into the back of the truck? How do I get it in there? Easy, easy peasy, my friends. I'm going to, let me grab one of my, I have a million of these. Save the stems. When you cut stuff off, save these things, okay? So if I were going to wrap this around a stem, I would basically just kind of, I would want to, it's kind of like, I like to wrap the whole thing together so it makes one piece of pipe cleaner, okay? Then I would just basically start wrapping this around the stem. Now you can add a little bit of glue. I would add it later. If you add it right now, you're going to risk burning yourself on it. But then just wind it up. Wind it up. Wind it up. Boop, boop, boop. Here you go. All right. And then add a little bit of glue so it wouldn't move. And then you would just stab that in here. Okay. You would cut it to whatever height you want. So I'm going to have this right at the bottom, so I don't really need to have a long stem. But if I wanted it up toward the top or something, I could leave this longer, and then you would stab it in there, and then that's how you can get your bow higher, okay? Like I said before, though, I'm going to use my pick machine. So what I do, because I'm picky, is I'm going to cut off everything except about 1 inch. Ooh, that must have hurt me more than it hurt you, okay? Here's my pick machine. It's called a Steel Picks. That's the one I use. It's a stemming machine. I make so much stuff that it makes sense for me to have it. I bought mine on eBay. Get it used, get it cheap, because it's expensive. I move the handle forward. That has brought a pick forward. So there's a big metal pick right in here. I'm going to lay this down right on top of that. Push the handle down. So those teeth are now wrapping around the pipe cleaner. Release the handle, pull the pick forward, and check it out. You now have something that you can stab yourself or a friend with. Be very careful. Don't hurt yourselves. Don't hurt yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. That scar, I was trying to pull one off of a pipe cleaner, and I pulled, and it didn't come off, but my thumb ran right across it, and I cut myself wide open 3 weeks ago. And yeah, I had to stop the live because I was working on a white pumpkin and blood was squirting everywhere. It was a mess. I can laugh about it now, but I was screaming on the inside. All right. Now, I have to check to see, is my pick too long for the bed? So the truck bed probably ends about there. So if I stick it right in, it should go all the way down without impeding anything, right? So if I don't want it to hit metal. If I needed to, I could use my pliers and I could cut this down a little bit, cut it on an angle. And then that way I don't have to worry about it hitting anything, okay? Because most of these stems or these picks come at pretty much the same size. So I'm going to add hot glue onto this pick. Don't let it drip on your ribbon tails. I'm going to go right in the center. Boom. All right. It's right in the center. So I like to add all my stuff around it. I never want my bow to feel like it's an afterthought. But it also helps me with spacing, make sure everything else looks good. So, all right. And then I'm also going to trim a little bit off of the length. I'm taking about maybe a ½ inch off. There we go. Our bow is in. The worst is over. That's the hardest part. These are easy. These are fun to do. The hardest part is finding a truck at a decent price that's not going to be extravagant. This truck is like 20 inches long. So that's why it was 40 bucks. Okay. So now we're also working with, we've got our florals. We have our pumpkin. We have some extra fall foliage. And we have what I like to call the crafting love of my life. It's 60919. That is a generic name for a filler bush that we all know and love. It comes in lots of different color combinations. The actual SKU number is changing now. So this one has a SKU number of FH807120. This is basically look for 24-inch filler bush leaf berries, I think is a good way to search for it. You can get it DecoExchange, Craft Outlet, lots of places. General Wholesale has it. So I'm going to pull these apart. There's 3 sections on here, and they just, boop, pull apart. Nice and easy. I'm going to take the tag out of the back of the truck because I'm classy that way. All right, so we have this. It's got all sorts of different leaves on here. If you guys have watched me before, you know I use this in pretty much everything just because I like it. I'm going to spread it out. Air it out. It's like taking off your bra, right? You want to let those puppies breathe. The more we air it out and space this out, the more volume it takes up, the better it looks. All right. Now this, I don't like these little sticky things at the end. So I'm going to wrap this around my finger. Here we go. Kind of spread this around. Now, of course, I'm not going to leave it this long because that would look really freaking weird. All right, but we're going to have this. This one is going to be at the end, okay? So, but I want this to kind of poke a little higher up from the other stuff, so I want to cut this right around here. So I'd say this is about maybe a 6-inch, maybe a 5-inch stem. Let's see, how long is that? It's 6 inches. Wow. It didn't look like 6 inches, but when you measured it, apparently it really was. So take that as you will. Okay. Oop, drop stuff. All right, now I want to put this in the, that might be a little too long. I'm going to take an extra inch off. All right. All right, I'm going to add some glue on here, and I'm going to stab it, and it's going to kind of hit the back of the truck here. All right. I'm making sure to wrap that extra paper kind of around the stem, too, so it doesn't bunch up anywhere. All right. So this here with these, this is the back. So I'm going to put that in the back of the truck, and I'm just going to push that right in. Ooh, nice and pretty. Check that out. I love it. These other ones, we're probably going to go off more to the side, okay? I'm going to kind of probably maybe go more like on an angle. I don't want it sticking straight up. I want it to kind of go on an angle. I don't want it to go out that way. I want it to kind of come out kind of this way, all right? So I'm going to trim this down so that I've got about 1.5 inches of this from here to there that I'm working with, okay? And add in some glue. Glue, glue, glue. Pulling up my loops so I don't get anything on them, and I'm just gonna put it on an angle and push on an angle into the foam. Sometimes you gotta push it down and then you can like bend it backwards. All right, that's pretty good. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I may have to move it to face toward me. We'll see. There we go, there we go. In case you guys didn't see, I dropped a fall wreath kit earlier this week. I dropped it Sunday night, actually. Go again on the angle. It says, Gather Here with Grateful Hearts. It is a very big 26-inch wreath kit. It's one of the biggest ones I've done. But I've got that released out there. You can get that at sweetredecor.com because fall is upon us, ladies and gents. It is here. All right. Now I want these berries to kind of try to point to the outside because you're going to see that through here. You're not really going to see that on the inside. So moving the berries and the twig to the outside. All right. Next, I want to figure out where are we going to put this pumpkin. And I could maybe decide to put him at the back. Maybe that's going to be a little bit better location for him. So I'm going to kind of put him in there. So I'm spreading this apart. I'm giving him some room to go in. And I'm just going to glue it right in there. All right. And then the bow kind of goes around him. Let me take a look, make sure I like that. I do. I like it. I like it. It is fluffy. It is good. All right, cool. So he's in there. I kind of have to bend some of that 60919 that's sideways. I'm kind of bending it around it a little bit. So I'm going to add actually some extra glue onto the pumpkin and kind of underneath to make sure that he's really going to stay in there. Okay, so we've got him. So we're not really going to add too much more around here. I think just a couple of these stems and then some of the smaller foliage. So like I said, we're not using this whole thing. I'm kind of picking and choosing what I want out of here. I'm just going to cut this one down at the bottom. Now we're going to talk, what do I want for height? I would love to, I've got two, so I would love to put like one kind of in either corner. So I think I'm going to do that. All right. So it's going to go behind, one behind the passenger, one behind the driver's seat. There we go. Perfect. And kind of come on a little bit of an angle. Super cute. This bush was from Joanne. I can never get it again. Joanne! Joanne! Sorry. I'm still not happy with the way we broke up. Still very upset. I probably always will be. Hurts deeply. But, you know, life must go on. I'm not afraid to keep on living. I'm not afraid to walk this world alone. Here we go. I'm going to pull him out to the outsides a little bit. He looks really cute so far, right? But I got to put something behind here because we can't just have that hanging there by itself. So let's add in some of these bigger blooms. I want to do one of these dark orange ones because it's really pretty. Dark orange with sage to me is like, chef's kiss. Love that combination. Mwah. I was going to touch my lips, but I forgot I put lipstick on. Just for you guys. All right. All right. So then this is what it looks like from the front, right? It's kind of just kind of goes in like a natural arch. There we go. I'm going to put some more back in here. So let's see what we have. This is really pretty. I like this, so let's use some of that. Pretty, pretty. I'm going to tuck this right in here. Okay. There was another one we'll use. So, guys, I had no self-control this week. Zero. I went to the Craig Bachman warehouse sale, and I had a list. I got what was on the list and way more. So I've got a ton of wreath kits coming. I cannot express to you the number of wreath kits I have coming, and most of them are going to have a video. All right, most will have a video. I am excited about that. Here we go. Put this one. Kind of thinking in the middle, but you know what? I don't know. I think I kind of want to put some of this stuff in there and then put some more stuff around it, because I don't want it just to be too... Do you see the colors are just too similar to all put in there together without breaking it up? Okay, so what I'm going to do is make this a little smaller. I'm going to put this right behind the pumpkin, but then I'm going to fill out between this and those other ones. Okay, I'm going to put some stuff right in here. Okay, a couple of these. I'm not using all these, but I feel like we need some of these branches. We need to branch out. All right. And these are small. That's why I like these, because I'm able to cut these off. And these are from the at-home store. This branch was $1.99. I think that was last year. I don't think I got any of that stuff yet this year. All right. I was there to get more pumpkins. I have 29 jack-o'-lanterns for next year sitting in my storage unit. Don't judge. Okay, put that in there. Oh, I like that. Yeah, it's breaking it up a little bit more. I like that. Just, it's framing it out real nicely. And I just need just a few little pieces of this. It's not a lot, but it's just enough. I'm trying to get this. There's some leaves in here, so I'm trying to find the foam. Oh my gosh. I hear the foam. Yay, there it goes. All right, I want to turn this around and look at it for a second. Make sure I can kind of, oh, that flung off. All right, well, there we go. Yeah, we're good, we're good. There we go. I was trying to move those florals to more of the outside. Okay, so now I still want to put some more of these kind of just a little bit on the outside. I'll show you where. Kind of just over here a little bit, kind of bringing this in. So bringing in some of those colors. All right, just a little bit there. Let's cut off the price tag so we're not tagging me. I gotta check my comments too. I apologize. Oh, Brenda, I am excited for you guys to see the kits. Now, I might have to post some of these before I get the videos done. I'm not sure. I would like to wait until, not post it until all the videos are done, but the videos take a while. But I do have the one out there. But it's Christmas. It's Christmas. I can't wait. Love my Christmas time stuff. Christmas crafting is the bomb diggity, man. That's where it's at. All right, just kind of putting some more. That might actually be too long. Some more to the side here. Oh, there we go. Perfection. See, this is just, it's a nice quick project. This would make a great tablescape for Thanksgiving, right? You guys can put this at your Thanksgiving table. Be super, super cute to do that. All right. It's looking good. Let me see. I don't want to overdo it. I just want to make sure that I like everything that's in there. I do. And make sure I like it from the side. I do. Make sure I like it from the side. I do. All right. I mean, okay, it only took us half an hour. That was pretty darn quick. But yeah, I just wanted to have this be in here, kind of cute. You know what? I think I might actually want to put another red one in there. Hold on. Yeah, I do. Sorry, I want to push the sunflowers out more to the sides, but then that kind of created a bit of a gap. I like that better. All right, that's what the back looks like. We got our back in there, right? I mean, you could have gone all crazy. We could have gone super giant, big, over the top, but I didn't want this to be massive, right? I wanted this to be, hey, I can put this in my entryway, or I can put this on my table as a centerpiece, and it's not up out of the way so I can't see the person across from me at the Thanksgiving dinner table, right? So it is definitely small enough you can keep it on the table. Kitchen island, right? I mean, that's the perfect place for a cute little design like this. Most of the time when you walk into someone's house, you have a direct sight line into their kitchen island. So this would be something great to see there as well. So basically, the 16-inch Smiling Jack, I don't remember. I think it might have been because, so they had these on sale for, I think, $24.95 when I went last time. But I don't know. Smiling Jack might have been up toward the front, but he was always like almost $60. So I don't know. If I go, I'll find out and I'll let you know because I'm usually there a lot. But yeah, see, and I would love to decorate him and sell him, but because of copyright issues and trademark stuff, I couldn't do that on Etsy. I couldn't sell him. I could maybe try to get away with it locally, but I don't want to get in trouble. You know, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm a good girl. Okay, so this truck was from the at-home store. It was originally $39.95, but wait till it goes on sale. Don't wait till next year to get it from the at-home store because we don't know if they're going to be around. Okay, hopefully they are, but you know, don't sleep on it if you really want one. You can get ones like this at Hobby Lobby too. Lots of places. So we've decorated that. We sprayed it with gaps and cracks, which was in the bottom of the truck bed. I leveled it out with a floral knife well after 24 hours. I think I sprayed this 2 months ago. And then we added in some Spanish moss, secured it with U-pins. Then we made our bow. We had 5 loops at 3.5 inches a piece and 5-inch tails that I since cut down to like 4.5 inch. We put our bow in. We added in our pumpkin from Hobby Lobby. Then we started adding in our 60919. It was 1 bush of that 24-inch floral filler bush. I put 1 back here, 2 on the sides, and then we started cutting up our floral bush from the at-home store. You can get ones like this at Michael's, right? Kind of picking and choosing for scale. And then these smaller leaf bushes like this, they were $1.99 from the at-home store. I think I only used 1 because I took it apart and I just put little pieces. So there we go. That's how we did this arrangement today. This full video is going to be backed up onto my YouTube channel. You can go there and find a whole library full of videos. So that's where that'll be. And this will be listed, hopefully soon, at sweetredecor.com. That is my Etsy site where I do sell finished decor, but also supplies and wreath kits, including that Gather Here with Grateful Hearts wreath kit that I had just finished. And honestly, let me show you that wreath because it matches the truck. It matches the truck. Let me show you the wreath, okay? All right. If you watched me on Monday, you saw me bring this out, but this is that wreath kit All right, the kit to make this is $69.99 on my website. If you were to buy this wreath online, it is definitely not $69.99. But if you're crafty, this kit is out there. So it comes with the 15 to 25 inch worth wreath frame, okay, the beige, the burlap color. 2 rolls of mesh, you get your stripy and then your solid brown. And then it comes with 3 rolls of ribbon. You got 2 2.5 inch and 1 1.5 inch of the fancy penty ribbon, right? You've got your sign that comes with the house sign, which we love, Gather Here with Grateful Hearts. And it does also come with 2 of these floral velvet pumpkin picks, right? We just kind of laid them right in there. It's a great kit if you want to make a bigger wreath and you're not sure how to do it. This would be a great kit to start with because I didn't use any glue in this. It was very, very simple, and I know you can do it. So we have that wreath as well. And like the sage, look how it matches the truck. That's so cute. That's so fluffy. All right. Anyway, thank you for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I will see you on Monday at noon Central for our Monday Crafternoons. All right. Thank you, everybody. I will see you later.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can follow me all over social media, and you can shop my store at sweetariadecor.com.